What's up guys, welcome back my YouTube channel. Today I will telling about USA top 6 ultra rare most valuable coin American coins Mercury 1 dimes. Today we explore one of the most misunderstood and talked about coins in American collecting history. The 1918 United States Mercury 1 dime silver coin is one of the most famous and beautifully designed coins in American history. Even though many people call it the Mercury dime, the coin does not actually show the Roman god Mercury. Instead, it features Liberty wearing a winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought. This elegant design, combined with its connection to World War I and its silver content, has made the 1918 Mercury dime a favorite among collectors around the world. The Mercury dime series was introduced in 1916 to replace the old barber dime, which had been in circulation since the late 1800s. The U.S. Mint wanted a more artistic and modern design that represented American values. The job was given to sculptor Adolph A. Weinman, a well-known artist who also designed the famous Walking Liberty half-dollar coin. Weinman's design brought new life to American coinage and marked the beginning of what many historians call the golden age of U.S. coin design. On the front side of the coin, Liberty faces left, wearing a soft cap with wings. These wings do not represent speed, but rather freedom of thought and progress. The word Liberty appears along the edge, while the motto "In God We Trust" is placed near Liberty's neck. The year, 1918, is clearly stamped at the bottom. The design is detailed yet balanced, giving the coin a graceful and timeless appearance. The reverse side shows a bundle of wooden rods called a fasces, with an olive branch wrapped around it. The fasces was an ancient Roman symbol of strength and unity, while the olive branch represents peace. Together they send a powerful message: America is strong but desires peace. This symbolism was especially meaningful in 1918, the final year of World War I, when the world was hoping for an end to conflict. The 1918 Mercury dime is made of 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it both beauty and durability. It weighs about 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 17.9 millimeters. Because of its high silver content, the coin also holds value beyond its face value of 10 cents, especially when silver prices rise. In 1918, Mercury dimes were produced at 3 different mints. The Philadelphia Mint struck coins with no mint mark. The Denver Mint used a small D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint used an S. These mint marks can be found on the reverse side, near the bottom left of the fasces. Coins from all 3 mints are collected today, but some versions are rarer than others. One of the most famous and valuable varieties is the 1918 D Mercury dime with a weak or missing mint mark, known as the 1918 D over weak D. This happened when the mint mark was stamped lightly or improperly. Because of this error, genuine examples are rare and highly sought after by collectors. In high condition, this variety can sell for thousands of dollars. Condition plays a huge role in determining the value of a 1918 Mercury dime. Coins that were heavily used in circulation may only be worth their silver content or slightly more. However, coins in excellent condition, especially those with sharp details and original shine, can be worth much more. Uncirculated examples from the Denver or San Francisco mints are particularly valuable. Beyond money, the 1918 Mercury dime tells a powerful story about its time. It represents a nation at war, yet hopeful for peace. It reflects a period when art and symbolism were deeply respected in everyday objects, even small coins. Holding one today is like holding a tiny piece of American history in your hand. The Mercury dime series continued until 1945, when it was replaced by the Roosevelt dime. Even so, the Mercury dime remains one of the most loved U.S. coins ever made. Among them, the 1918 issue stands out for its historical importance, elegant design, and lasting popularity with collectors. Next coin. The 1919 United States Mercury 1 dime silver coin is one of the most beautiful and historically important small coins ever produced by the U.S. Mint. Although it is commonly called the Mercury dime, the coin does not actually show the Roman god Mercury. Instead, the design represents Liberty wearing a winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought. This artistic misunderstanding gave the coin its famous nickname, which remains popular among collectors today. The Mercury dime was designed by sculptor Adolph A. Weinman and was introduced in 1916 to replace the long-running barber dime. At the time, the United States wanted more modern and inspiring coin designs that reflected national ideals. Weinman's design quickly became a favorite because of its elegant details and strong symbolism. On the front of the coin, or obverse, Liberty faces left with small wings attached to her cap. These wings represent intellectual freedom and progress. The word liberty curves along the left side, while in God we trust appears near her neck. The year, 1919, is placed at the bottom. The portrait looks peaceful yet confident, reflecting the hope of a nation entering a new era after World War I. The reverse side of the coin shows a fasces, a bundle of wooden rods tied together with an axe blade, which was an ancient Roman symbol of authority and strength through unity. Around the fasces is an olive branch representing peace. Together, these symbols deliver a powerful message. America seeks peace but stands strong when unity and defense are required. The words United States of America and one dime surround the design, with E pluribus unum placed to the side. The year 1919 was significant in American history. World War I had just ended in late 1918, and the country was transitioning from wartime production to peacetime life. Soldiers were returning home, industries were changing, and society was adjusting to a new global role. The Mercury Dime of 1919 circulated during this period of economic growth, labor strikes, and major cultural change known as the early modern era of the United States. In 1919, Mercury Dimes were minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while Denver coins have a small D, and San Francisco coins show an S on the reverse side near the bottom left of the fasces. Millions of these dimes were produced, making them common in circulation for decades. The 1919 Mercury Dime is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it both intrinsic metal value and collectible importance. Each coin weighs 2.5 grams and measures about 17.9 millimeters in diameter. Because silver prices rise and fall, even worn examples often hold value above their original face value of 10 cents. Collectors pay special attention to the condition of Mercury dimes. Coins that were heavily used often show wear on Liberty's hair, the wings on her cap, and the bands around the fasces. A well-preserved coin with sharp details, especially full horizontal bands on the fasces, is much more valuable. These are known as full bands specimens and are highly sought after by numismatists. Beyond value, the Mercury dime is admired for its artistic quality. Many experts consider it one of the finest coin designs ever created by the United States. It represents a time when American coinage moved away from simple lettering and toward detailed, symbolic artwork that told a story about national identity. The Mercury dime remained in production until 1945, when it was replaced by the Roosevelt dime following President Franklin D. Roosevelt's death. Yet the legacy of the Mercury dime continues to live on. It is still collected, studied, and admired by coin enthusiasts around the world. The 1919 Mercury dime stands as more than just a piece of silver. It is a small but powerful reminder of America's resilience after war, its dedication to liberty, and its belief in strength through unity. Holding one today is like holding a piece of history from a time when the nation was stepping into a new century with hope, determination, and pride. Next coin. The 1921 United States Mercury 1 dime silver coin is one of the most fascinating and historically important coins in American numismatics. Although small in size, this dime tells a powerful story about art, economic hardship, and a nation recovering from war. The coin belongs to the famous Mercury Dime series, officially known as the Winged Liberty Head Dime. It was designed by renowned sculptor Adolph A. Weinman and first introduced in 1916. The design quickly became one of the most beautiful ever used on U.S. coinage. On the front of the coin appears a young Liberty wearing a winged cap. Many people mistakenly thought this figure was the Roman god Mercury, which is how the coin earned its popular nickname. In reality, the wings represent freedom of thought and progress, important ideals for a growing nation in the early 20th century. The reverse side shows a fasces, an ancient Roman symbol of strength and unity, wrapped with an olive branch representing peace. Together, these symbols express America's desire for both power and peace during a changing global era. What makes the year 1921 especially important is its connection to economic history. After World War I ended in 1918, the United States entered a short but severe economic downturn known as the Depression of 1920 to 1921. Businesses struggled, unemployment increased, and the demand for new coins dropped sharply. Because of this, the U.S. Mint produced very few dimes in 1921. Only about 1.2 million were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, a remarkably low number compared to earlier years when tens of millions were made. An even rarer version was produced in Denver, with just over 1 million coins minted. This low production turned the 1921 Mercury dime into a key rarity within the series. Many coins were heavily circulated during hard economic times, which means surviving examples in good condition are scarce today. The coin itself is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 2.5 grams and measuring 17.9 millimeters in diameter. At the time, silver coins were a trusted form of everyday money, valued not just for their purchasing power but also for their precious metal content. For Americans in 1921, a dime could buy basic food items, newspapers, or public transportation. During difficult times, every small coin mattered. From a collector's perspective, the 1921 Mercury Dime is considered one of the key dates of the entire series. Key dates are coins that are essential for completing a full collection but are difficult to find. Even heavily worn examples can sell for significant amounts today, while well-preserved coins can reach thousands of dollars, especially those with sharp details and original mint luster. The Denver minted version, marked with a small D on the reverse, is even more valuable and is one of the most sought-after Mercury dimes ever made. Beyond its monetary value, this coin represents a moment in American resilience. It was struck at a time when the nation was transitioning from wartime production to peacetime recovery. Factories were adjusting, soldiers were returning home, and families were rebuilding their lives. The Mercury dime design continued until 1945, when it was replaced by the Roosevelt dime following President Franklin D. Roosevelt's death. However, Weinman's elegant design remains legendary and is often ranked among the finest in U.S. coin history. Today, the 1921 Mercury dime stands as a symbol of artistic excellence and economic reality. It reminds collectors and historians alike that even the smallest pieces of currency can reflect major events in a nation's story. From the wings on Liberty's cap to the silver in its metal, every detail connects us to an era of hardship, hope, and determination. In the world of coin collecting, this tiny silver dime is not just money, it is history in the palm of your hand. Next coin. The 1925 United States Mercury dime is one of the most beautiful and historically important small silver coins ever produced by the U.S. Mint. Officially called the Winged Liberty Head dime, it is widely known as the Mercury dime, because the female figure on the front resembles the Roman god Mercury. In reality, the design represents liberty wearing a winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought. This coin belongs to the Mercury dime series, which was minted from 1916 to 1945. The series replaced the barber dime and marked a new era in American coin design, bringing artistic beauty back to everyday money during the early 20th century. The obverse, or front side, of the 1925 Mercury dime shows Liberty facing left, wearing a winged Phrygian cap. The word Liberty curves around the top edge, while the motto "In God We Trust" appears to the left of her face. The date, 1925, is found at the bottom. The design was created by famous sculptor Adolph A. Weinman, whose work is also seen on the Walking Liberty $50. The reverse side features a fasces, a bundle of wooden rods with an axe blade, symbolizing strength through unity and justice. Wrapped around the fasces is an olive branch representing peace. Together, these symbols show America's desire for strength while maintaining peace after World War I. The words "United States of America" and "One Dime" surround the design, along with the motto "E Pluribus Unum." The 1925 Mercury dime was struck at 3 different U.S. Mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark, while Denver coins carry a small D, and San Francisco coins display an S on the reverse near the bottom. In total, more than 42 million Mercury dimes were produced in 1925 across all mints. The Philadelphia Mint struck the largest number, followed by Denver and then San Francisco. Because of these high mintage numbers, the 1925 Mercury dime is considered a common date coin, meaning it is relatively easy to find today. However, condition plays a huge role in value. Most surviving examples show heavy wear, as these coins were widely used in daily commerce during the Roaring Twenties. In circulated condition, a 1925 Mercury dime typically contains 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 2.5 grams. Its silver content alone gives it a base value higher than modern dimes. For collectors, uncirculated examples are far more desirable. Coins with sharp details, full bands on the fasces, and original mint luster can be worth many times more than worn examples. The full bands designation is especially important, as it shows strong strike quality and crisp separation in the horizontal bands on the reverse design. The year 1925 itself holds a special place in American history. The country was experiencing economic growth, jazz music was thriving, and automobiles were becoming common on city streets. Prohibition was still in effect, and the nation was enjoying a brief period of optimism between two world wars. The Mercury Dime circulated in pockets and purses during this vibrant era, silently witnessing a rapidly changing America. Although the 1925 issue is not the rarest Mercury Dime, it remains popular due to its classic design, silver content, and historical charm. Many collectors choose Mercury Dimes as their first silver coins because they are affordable, attractive, and deeply connected to U.S. history. Today, the 1925 Mercury Dime stands as a reminder of a time when even the smallest coins were treated as works of art. Its elegant Liberty portrait and powerful reverse design reflect the values of freedom, unity, and peace that defined a generation. Whether found in a collection, passed down through family, or discovered in an old coin box, this small silver dime carries nearly a century of American heritage. It proves that even a 10-cent coin can tell a powerful story about a nation, its people, and its journey through time. Next coin. The 1928 United States Mercury Dime is one of the most admired silver coins in American history. Although many people call it the Mercury Dime, the coin does not actually show the Roman god Mercury. Instead, it features Liberty wearing a winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought. This beautiful and meaningful design has made the coin popular with collectors for more than a century. The Mercury Dime was designed by sculptor Adolph A. Weinman and first released in 1916. At the time, the U.S. Mint wanted to modernize its coin designs and move away from the older, simple styles that had been used for decades. Weinman created a portrait of Liberty that looked youthful, strong, and hopeful, reflecting America's growing confidence in the early 20th century. On the front of the coin, Liberty faces left, wearing a soft cap with wings on its sides. These wings represent freedom of thought and intelligence, not speed or trade, which are symbols usually connected to Mercury. Around her portrait are the words Liberty and the date 1928. The motto "In God We Trust" is placed near the lower left edge. The reverse side of the coin shows a fasces, a bundle of wooden rods with an axe blade, standing upright. In ancient Roman times, the fasces symbolized strength through unity and authority. Wrapped around it is an olive branch representing peace. Together, these two symbols show America's desire for both strength and peace after the difficult years of World War I. The coin is made of 90% silver and 10% copper, which was the standard metal composition for U.S. dimes at that time. It weighs about 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 17.9 millimeters. Because of its silver content, the Mercury Dime also has value as precious metal, in addition to its collectible worth. In 1928, the United States was enjoying a period of economic growth known as the Roaring Twenties. Factories were expanding, new technologies were changing daily life, and the stock market was booming. However, just 1 year later, the Great Depression would begin. This makes the 1928 Mercury Dime one of the last coins minted before one of the hardest economic periods in American history. The 1928 Mercury Dime was produced at 3 different U.S. Mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins made in Philadelphia do not have a mint mark. Those made in Denver carry a small D, and those from San Francisco have an S, both located on the reverse side near the bottom. Among these, the 1928 D Mercury Dime is considered the key date of the series. It had a very low mintage compared to other years, making it especially rare and valuable today. Finding a 1928 D in good condition can be difficult, and high-grade examples are highly sought after by collectors. The 1928 S dime is also less common than many other dates, though not as rare as the Denver version. The Philadelphia coin is the most common of the 3, but it is still valued by collectors, especially when found in uncirculated or lightly worn condition. Over time, Mercury dimes became known not only as currency but also as symbols of American art and craftsmanship. Many collectors consider them one of the most beautiful U.S. coin designs ever created. The design was so well loved that Weinman was later chosen to design the Walking Liberty $50, another famous American coin. The Mercury dime remained in circulation until 1945, when it was replaced by the Roosevelt dime in 1946, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt. By then, millions of Mercury dimes had been worn smooth by everyday use, making well-preserved examples from earlier years such as 1928 even more desirable. Today, the 1928 Mercury dime stands as a small but powerful piece of American history. It represents artistic excellence, the optimism of the 1920s, and the strength of a nation just before facing the Great Depression. Whether kept as a collectible, a silver investment, or a family heirloom, this coin continues to tell the story of its time. For coin collectors and history lovers alike, the 1928 Mercury dime is more than just 10 cents. It is a reminder of America's past, captured forever in silver. Next coin. The 1928 United States Mercury dime is one of the most beautiful and historically rich silver coins ever produced by the U.S. Mint. Even though it is officially called the Winged Liberty Head dime, collectors and the public have always known it as the Mercury dime, because the portrait on the front resembles the Roman god Mercury. Today, this small silver coin is admired not only for its design, but also for its silver content, its age, and its collectible value. The Mercury dime series was introduced in 1916 and remained in circulation until 1945. It replaced the barber dime and marked a new artistic direction for American coinage. The design was created by sculptor Adolph A. Weinman, who wanted to show liberty wearing a winged cap to symbolize freedom of thought. Over time, people began calling it the Mercury dime due to its similarity to classical images of Mercury, the messenger god. The 1928 Mercury dime was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia do not have a mint mark, while Denver coins carry a small D, and San Francisco coins show an S on the reverse side near the bottom. Each mint produced different quantities, which directly affects how rare and valuable the coin is today. In terms of metal content, the 1928 Mercury dime is made of 90% silver and 10% copper. It weighs about 2.5 grams and contains roughly 0.072 troy ounces of pure silver. Because of this, even heavily worn examples still have value simply for their silver content. However, collector value often goes far beyond the price of silver, especially for well-preserved coins. The Philadelphia issue of 1928 is the most common of the 3. In worn condition, it usually sells for around $3 to $6, depending on the current silver price. In fine to very fine condition, it may range from $8 to $20. If the coin is in extremely fine or about uncirculated condition, its value can increase to $40 or even $80. Fully uncirculated examples with strong detail and original luster can sell for $150 or more. The Denver Mint version, known as the 1928 D Mercury dime, is much scarcer. This is one of the key dates in the entire Mercury dime series. In worn condition, it can already be worth $40 to $70. In fine condition, values often rise to over $100. High-grade examples can easily sell for several $100s, and top-quality uncirculated pieces have reached prices above $1,000 at auctions. The San Francisco Mint coin, the 1928s, falls between the other 2 in terms of rarity. Worn examples usually sell for around $8 to $15. In better condition, prices may range from $40 to $120, while uncirculated examples can exceed $300 depending on quality. Condition is one of the most important factors in determining value. Collectors carefully examine details such as Liberty's hair, the wings on the cap, and the horizontal lines known as bands on the fasces design on the reverse. Coins with sharp details and minimal wear are much more desirable. Another factor is originality. Coins that have not been cleaned or damaged are worth significantly more. The 1928 Mercury dime also carries strong historical significance. It was minted during a period of economic growth in the United States, just 1 year before the Great Depression began. These coins were used in everyday transactions, passing through the hands of workers, shopkeepers, and families during a dramatic era in American history. Today, the Mercury dime series is one of the most popular sets among coin collectors. The 1928 issue, especially from Denver, remains a highlight for anyone building a complete collection. Whether found in old family collections, coin shops, or auctions, this small silver coin continues to attract attention nearly a century after it was made. In conclusion, the 1928 Mercury dime is more than just a 10-cent piece. It is a combination of fine art, precious metal, and American history. Depending on its mint mark and condition, its value can range from a few dollars to well over $1,000. For collectors and history lovers alike, it remains one of the most fascinating coins of the 20th century.